filed in this August 17, 2017 file. Photo. Sen. Bob Menendez, DNJ, speaks during a news conference in Union Beach, NJ. A jury could begin deliberations Monday, November 6, in the bribery trial of Menendez and a wealthy friend. AP photo. Julio Cortez. File. Newark, NJ. Jurors deliberated for a second full day in the bribery trial of Sen. Bob Menendez on Wednesday, with little indication of which way they may be leaning on any of the counts against the New Jersey Democrat and a wealthy friend. By midday, the only request they had made to the judge came shortly after they arrived, when they asked to leave an hour earlier because of horrific traffic jams leaving Newark the day before. The makeup of the Senate could be affected if Menendez is convicted and then voted out by a two-thirds majority, a prospect considered unlikely since it would require more than a dozen Democrats to join the Republican majority. If Menendez were removed from the Senate, his replacement would be selected by the governor. Democrat Phil Murphy was elected New Jersey governor Tuesday night and will replace Republican Chris Christie in January. On Tuesday, one juror asked the judge to read back a portion of the defense's closing argument that covered the definition of a senator's authority, a request the judge denied because closing arguments aren't considered testimony or evidence. If the panel doesn't reach a verdict by the end of Thursday's session, U.S. District Judge William Walz has already said he will excuse a juror who told him before the trial that she had a vacation scheduled to begin next Monday. In that event, an alternate would take her place and deliberations would start anew. Walz said last week, Menendez is charged with accepting gifts from Florida eye Dr. Solomon Melgen over several years, in exchange for helping Melgen advance his business interests by exerting pressure on government officials. The two men face multiple bribery and fraud counts, and Menendez also is charged with making false statements on Senate forms by not disclosing Melgen's gifts. The jury began deliberations late Monday afternoon after hearing nearly 8 hours of attorneys' closing arguments and roughly 9 weeks of testimony. They were sent out of the room on numerous occasions during the trial so that attorneys on both sides could engage in legal mud wrestling over the finer points of federal bribery statutes. Many of the disputes arose because Menendez's trial is the first major federal corruption trial since a 2016 U.S. Supreme Court ruling narrowed the definition of what constitutes an official act in a bribery scheme and raised the bar for bribery prosecutions. Walz rejected defense attorneys' arguments that the Supreme Court ruling invalidated the so-called stream of benefits theory, in which specific gifts need not be tied to specific official actions to be considered bribes. Instead, they focused in closing arguments on language from the ruling that requires Menendez to have agreed to take official action at the time a bribery agreement was made. They claim the prosecution didn't present evidence of an explicit agreement between the two men. Prosecutors countered that they were only required to demonstrate an implicit agreement.